Okay. Hi, everyone. Alena from opair.com is here, and we are welcoming Pamela today.
Hi.
Hi, really nice to have you with us. And yeah, I would like to ask you some personal information at first. So, how old are you? Where are you from? And yeah, how did you learn about opair.com?
Okay, so I'm Pamela. I'm 23 years old and I'm from Italy. And I learned about au-pair.com scrolling on the internet because I wanted to be an au pair and I found the website. So I registered and started to message to the families.
That's perfect. Are you au pairing now or
Not
no?
at the moment, but I hope to go back soon.
Perfect. So are you studying at the moment or?
No, I'm not studying at the moment.
Okay, that's great. So first, most usual question is why did you want to become an au pair?
I wanted to be an au pair because I've always loved to stay with children, to spend time with children. And I've always loved English and to travel the world. So I started to think about it and then I did it.
Yeah, that's great. And yeah, have you already lived abroad before becoming an au pair, or was it your first?
No, I lived in other cities, but still in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first time abroad when I was an au pair.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Could you please tell us where you were an au pair?
I was an au pair in London.
Yep, that's great.
Unfortunately, for just 2 months because of the pandemic, I had to
Yeah,
come back.
yeah, that's pandemic is crazy. Makes everything difficult. Yeah. So in UK, you still didn't need a visa, right?
So I
Okay.
was lucky because it was still in Europe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you have any like problems with documents or anything, or it was just easy? You just flew. Okay,
Yeah.
that's perfect. Um, did you have any like fears or doubts or some, I don't know, thoughts before leaving? Like, oh my God, what am I doing?
Yeah, I was thinking about, no, I'm not gonna do that because I'm a really shy person. Like I can't even go to outside alone. I always need to be with someone because I'm so shy. And suddenly I started to say, yeah, I'm going, and I had to take the plane alone. And I was like, how am I gonna do that if I can't even go outside of my house alone? And so it was a challenge, and I was really afraid. And I was also afraid to maybe not understand people.
Mm-hmm.
Also because in England they have a really strong accent, so
Yep.
sometimes it's difficult to understand. But it was fine. It was challenging, but fine.
And you did it.
Yeah.
And that's great because that's something like you never know what you can do unless you try. And
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, then let's talk about au pair, your au pair experience. When did your experience start?
I started to be an au pair in January 2020, so last
Mhm.
year.
Okay, and it was only for 2 months.
And yeah, I came back on March 2020.
Yeah, right before everything
Yeah,
went.
but I
Yeah.
was planning to stay until June, but
Hmm.
with the pandemic, I
Yeah,
had to
yeah,
come.
of course. And how long did it take you to find like your perfect family?
I started to search for a family in October, I guess, and I found it in December, and in
Hmm.
January I left.
Hmm. That's great. And how was the process? You were just contacting like many families, or it was just this one?
I spoke with different families, and then I started to feel the connection with a host family in particular, and then we had a video call, and I felt like it was the one.
Oh, yeah, that's always nice to have this feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was just a feeling, because then it wasn't like the feeling that I experienced it with the messages and the video call, and then when I was there, it was a little different.
Okay. How different was it? Like, you had this experience communicating with them, and then you came, and how was it?
It was like when I texted with the host mom, we have a really strong connection. I really liked her a lot, and then when I was there, she was like a little, how can I say that? She wasn't like on the texts, because we didn't talk a lot, but it was just because she didn't know me, and she wanted to get along with me in the house because I was new, and I had an au pair for 2 years straight. So they had to get used to a new person.
I see. Was she single mom or?
No,
No.
she was with her husband.
Okay. And how many kids do they have?
They had 2 girls of 7 and 9 years old.
And how were your relationships with the host kids?
It was great, even if we didn't spend a lot of time together, because I had 2 host families in 2 months. Because I changed the first host families, but just because they saw that they didn't need me, because the girls were getting older and the mom was always at home, so they didn't need me that much. So at the second month, I changed the family.
Okay, that's super interesting. Like, to have 2 families in 2 months. That's
Yeah.
okay. And how did you
For
find your?
me, the main experience, it's with the second host family, because with the first one I didn't had to work a lot, because she was always at home. So I stayed with the girls sometime, especially in the nights, because I had to babysit like twice a week. So it was okay, but they didn't need me that much.
Okay.
So at the second month, they were like, we saw that we don't need you because the girls are getting older. The mom is always at home. So, and they helped me finding the new host family.
Oh, that's cool. Could you tell us more about your second host family?
The second host family was in the same city, in the same neighborhood of the first one. And they still had 2 children, a boy of 8 years old and a girl of 9 years old. And I had a really special relationship with the host kids, even because I spent a lot of time with them this time.
Yeah. Do you still like in touch with them or?
Yeah, sometimes we speak.
That's nice. Um, how did your typical day look like? Let's say with your second host family, you woke up and then.
I had to wake up at 7 and started work at like 7:30. I had to wake up the kids, make them breakfast, and help them get ready for school. And once a week, I had to bring them to school. And then I was off until 4 p.m. Once a week, I had to pick them up from school. And then they had some activities like soccer or guitar and piano. And then at 5 p.m., I had to make dinner, which we ate together. And then at 7 p.m. they went to bed.
Okay, that seems nice. That seems like what au pair means, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's great that you could experience this with your second host family. Okay, so you already said that it was the first time living abroad for you.
Yeah.
So I would like to ask about like cultural shock, if you experienced it. What was something that you did not expect, or yeah, something weird?
The cultural shock for me, it was not about the English culture because they were like pretty easy, but it was the fact that my host family were Jewish.
Okay.
So they had some um, they had to divide the food,
Mm-hmm.
like dairy products from the meat. So in the kitchen of my host family's house, we had like 2 sinks and like different plates for meat and for dairy products. And if you like eat meat one night, you can't eat the meat with the milk and something like that. So it was pretty shocking and difficult at the first time because sometimes I was like using the wrong plate, and my host mom was like, "No, it's not the right plate," and I was like, "It's just a plate," and it's like
Yeah. But yeah, was it with the first family or with the second one?
the second one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you speak English, so were you attending also a language course or
No, I wanted to do that, but I had no time.
okay, both with the first and the second one?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then I have a bit of weird question because you were there only for 2 months. But usually au pair also is about like discovering new country and like place around you. Did you have time to travel around a bit, or were you just
I used to stay in London,
mm-hmm,
but I saw a lot of places in London, and I also saw Shoreditch, which is um, in the east of London.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw a lot of places, but still in London. I wanted to go like also outside of London, but I just stayed for 2 months. So once I get used to be there, I had to
Yeah.
come back.
Well, yeah, London is pretty big itself, so there are
Yeah.
actually a lot of places to see. Um, you said that you were not attending the language course, and usually it's like the first place where au pairs are making new friends and meeting new people. How was it for you? Where did you like meet new people? Um,
I found my friends on Facebook groups.
mm-hmm,
Like this one, I started to text with her before my leaving,
mm-hmm.
and then we met in London. And then I always used Facebook groups and found a lot of people in my neighborhood.
Yeah, that's also a great way because yeah, it can be very difficult to meet new people when you are yeah, when you're in a new place. Okay. Um, what was your like favorite place in London, or maybe favorite, I don't know, cafe before everything got closed?
My favorite place in London was Camden Town.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can see a lot of people with different personalities and they don't feel judged by other people. It's just a free city. I liked it. And also Notting Hill.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Those are great places. You also said that you came there in January, right?
Yeah.
So it was kind of winter. And how was, like, was it very different from Italy? Because Italy is kind of warm and
About the temperature, is it right?
yep.
It was like same,
Mm-hmm.
but in London it was raining every day.
Oh,
Like sky was always gray, and it was just a little sad. But then you get used to, and once there's the sun, you're like so happy. It's like a weird thing when there's the sun in London. It's like why? But yeah, it's always rain. It's good if you like the rain, which I don't like the rain, and I don't know if I don't know why I went to London because it's raining every day. But yeah, I liked it. But yeah.
okay. Um, then I would also like to ask about food. Was it like very, very different? Because Italian cuisine is something very well known in the world, and British cuisine, like, kind of doesn't exist. So how was it for you to get used to the food?
Mm, it wasn't that bad because I eat pretty much everything, and in my host family, they ate a lot of veggies, fruits, or also pasta,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah,
Yeah, so it was not just sandwiches and
like sandwiches. But I like sandwich, so
okay, that's good. Okay, then well, about your like after au pair experience, let's talk a bit about that. If you like right now, actually, you have a chance to give an advice to the future au pairs, what would you tell them?
I would just tell them to don't be afraid to live in the present. Don't think about the future when you will come home, and don't think about like your house, your friends, because once you will come back, everything is gonna be there.
Mm-hmm.
So just live the moment because it's a great experience for yourself because you grow a lot.
Mm-hmm. And you said leave the moment. Maybe you could remember some of the most memorable moments of your experience.
I don't have one in particular because maybe the best moments were with my host kid, the boy, because even when I wasn't working, he always came into my room to play with me, and I was happy about it. So yeah, maybe the relationship with my host kid.
Mm-hmm. By the way, did you try to teach them some Italian or?
Yes, I tried, but
Mm-hmm.
they weren't so interested. And
Yeah.
it was for them. So it was better for them to teach me English.
Well, yeah, that's also great. Like when you speak with the small kids, you basically understand everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's maybe it's even better than the language course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So um, we always say that being an au pair may help in like finding a good job because you gain competences that you don't think you would gain there. Maybe you could think about something, yeah, that you learned, something specific being an au pair.
I think I learned to be more independent and to be like I have now more courage to do
Mm-hmm.
things, and yeah, it also helped me a lot with English, which I knew English, but I wasn't sure about my pronunciation and ability to talk because in school it's not like in the real life.
Yeah.
They can teach you English, but once you get outside, you have to speak. So I think I became more, independent,
Yeah.
more confident about my English because I can speak with everyone now.
That's
So,
great. Yeah, that's like I think very important because you don't know exactly how it's gonna be when you leave, and then you have all these new qualities in you.
yeah.
That's so cool. Okay, and like our last traditional question, would you do it again? But you kind of already answered at the beginning.
Yeah, I'm actually planning of be again an au pair in the USA, maybe this year.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, because I really enjoyed it the first time in London, but since I can't go back for the Brexit, I
Mm-hmm.
want to do it again in the USA and
Mm-hmm.
challenge myself again.
And why the US, if I may ask?
Because I'm obsessed since I was like 10 years old. So,
Okay,
yeah.
that's great. And do you have a like specific city in mind or state?
Yeah,
Yeah.
California.
Oh.
I mean, I would like to go like wherever, what
Mm-hmm.
happened. But the thing that I have in my mind is California.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's always warm there, so that's something.
Yeah.
Yeah, something nice. Okay, Pamela, thank you very much for sharing your amazing experience. That, I mean, having two host families in 2 months, that's something incredible and challenging. And yeah, thanks for sharing. Good luck with your new search. And yeah, hopefully you'll find your new perfect family in California.
I hope so. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.